Hello, everybody. I am live. Hello, Vinyl Champions. Hello, Vinyl Community. It's Sunday night. Sunday night at Record Crate. I am live. So let's talk about music. It's a free for all. Let's talk about music. Let's talk about music. It's been a wonderful weekend. Listened to a lot of music. Played a lot of records. Even did some streaming. Even did a YouTube video to talk about the last 7 records you played. It's a 350 subscriber contest, and I hope a lot of people will enter the contest, and I hope you're one of the winners. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to checking that out. So I'm not watching the bowl. I'm not watching the football bowl at all. One thing, I don't have an antenna. Other thing is I don't subscribe to anything that I can stream it and make it happen, but it's okay. So here I am, just making it happen tonight, going live and seeing what's happened. Hopefully some people will join me so we can just talk about music. It's a free-for-all. It's a music chat free-for-all. And I got to sneak over here and I got to open up my YouTube so I can look at the comments. So I'm going to mute my mic for a second so I don't mute my mic for a second so I don't have the feedback or the delay or the echo. Okay, I'm back. I have comments. Yo, Mr. Mean Mayo. And hello, Tanner A. Good to see you. No Super Bowl over here. Hey, I'm going to put an invite. I'm going to put an invite. You're welcome to join, folks, and let's talk. Let's talk music. Let's talk it. And I got something to show Joe, which I think you'll get a kick out of. You know, I love watching movies too. I rephrase that. There's a lot of movies that I enjoy watching, and horror is one of them. And so, Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2, and it is factory sealed, so it's really cool. Good evening, Joe. How are you?
Hi, Adam. Doing well.
Rock and roll.
Happy to avoid the Super Bowl.
I'm here. I wish everybody who's enjoying the Super Bowl, I wish them well, and I hope they're having a good time. I'm happy for the restaurants and the bars because they get to get additional income, which is good for revenue and it's good for the local economy. And they can have it.
I forgot I don't really need these. I'm like trying to still get used to this. Like, although I did discover when I still use my phone here, and I did discover that I foolishly forgot to charge it, which means I have 23% battery on it, and instead of 100%. So we'll see how I last. I have it plugged into my computer. You know, sometimes I use the laptop. Charge it through the laptop, but that's not as powerful as the wall, you know. So
that is true.
I'm hoping
if your phone loses its charge, you're welcome to click on the link with your portable computer. And
yeah, I still don't know how to do that. I know it sounds ridiculous, but I'm a novice when it comes to that, and sure. I've never really. I'm going to practice elsewhere, I think, with that first. I want to, like, get it down. I have a camera. I don't know how much of the room it's going to show. I'm trying to hide things, too. Messy things.
Yeah.
So,
hey, Starman. Starman is here. Hello, Starman.
Starman.
Yeah, good to see you tonight.
Starman Brindley and Tanner. And let's see. How many people are not watching football?
Oh, really? Yeah.
Hope that we have to get some, or maybe between touchdowns or whatever they are.
Well, things were a little slower today, just because people were heading to the Super Bowl parties early, and
yeah,
I'm sure the grocery stores are just packed. Yeah.
Oh yeah, my earlier stream was a lot of fun. I was acting crazy. That's when I do my guitar playing. I can't play guitar. That's why it's funny. I hope. And I'm at the record store, and I grab a toy guitar and I just sing badly. So that's what I was doing.
It's all about having fun,
Yep.
creating.
Fun and games.
Absolutely,
So,
fun and games. Yeah.
So were you open today for business, Adam?
All three stores were open, and it was a little slow. And I think it was just because of the football game tonight. And it's typically like that every year. I'm okay with it. I had a blast. Was able to get things done, and had a chance to work with some employees and hang out with them a little bit. So it was all good. It was all good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was at my store today, hanging out over there.
Oh, I'm sorry I missed your live. I enjoyed.
It was just insanity.
I enjoyed you visiting the record store. I think it's just amazing. I'm hoping one day you can sneak in the basement.
Trying to make it into a live album. That's what I was afraid of. You never know. When you go public, all these things are possible. You know, people can take your live stream, make an album out of it, whatever they want to do. So I'm aware of that.
And then it'd be all over. So did you get a chance to spin some vinyl today, Joe?
Did I spin vinyl? No, I've been listening to CDs. Well, same thing, I guess, in a way. But I've been delving into those archive sets that I've been collecting now, the Paul sets, and I've been enjoying them. So,
oh, that's cool.
We had the rhythm down. That's what people say. We had the rhythm down. I mean, I can't play worth crap, but I think I can do the rhythm. Yeah, the strumming thing pretty good. Yeah.
Uh-oh. Yeah. It's all about love, Starman. Yeah.
Love, baby, love.
And the crazy thing, between Starman and you, I ended up playing a bunch of Kinks this afternoon while I was in Wake Forest. So it was really neat. And so my customer from you, I'm sorry?
The Kinks?
Yeah, the Kinks, which
Yeah.
I love, the Kinks. So yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, well, I said I had gotten. I wish I had the CD in front of me. I think it's in the car still, the case. It's I don't know. It's from Castle CDs. Something that's Castle in the title, which I've never heard of. I think it's a British company or something. And the sound quality is, it has their hits on it. CD. And it starts out well. Sound quality really is pretty amazing on some of the songs. And then it starts fading a little bit. I don't know if it's just the way the Kinks recordings are in general,
Yeah.
Some of them are not as good.
Yeah. I totally can relate with that, Tanner. That's for sure. I've been absolutely head over heels for the last few months. They're easily in my top 5 bands. Well, that's great, Star. That's some good stuff. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. It's really sad because when Kinks come in, I want to keep it, and I do. And then another one come in, and I have to go compare it against my copy to see which one's best to keep. And it's awesome. It's wonderful. And yeah. So there we go. Yeah.
Do you get a tricolored label Kinks a lot? A reprise label?
When I get them, I like those. They usually sound better than the later pressings. And so when I get them, I'm like, woohoo! And when I get the monos, I get even more excited.
Yeah, those are probably the ones I'd want. They don't come into my store that often. When they do, it's hard to find really pristine copies, I think, of those. But some of them really nice when I see them,
Absolutely. I even like 80s Kinks. I think that stuff is good too. And that was my introduction to Kinks, was in the 80s.
Yeah, I think my introduction was probably Catch Me Now I'm Falling and Superman. Those.
Oh, man.
I don't think I'd heard of the Kinks before that when I was like 17 or something.
I have a 12-inch Superman, and I'm really happy to own that one. That's really cool.
Yeah, I might have that. They actually have the Superman logo on it.
Yeah.
I think one of them has the Superman logo on it.
And when I first got it, I thought it was the movie or the TV show.
Yeah.
Starman's gotten the deluxe edition CDs of all the albums from 64 to 70. That's very cool. Yeah, I'm sure there's stuff on there to listen to that's never been heard before. And so, Yeah, that's really cool.
So,
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, yeah. And it happens like that, Starman. But when I learned about it and I recognized it, and I grab them. Absolutely, I love seeing that steamboat in a heartbeat too. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, it was great that Vinyl Ma'am came to your chat this morning, Joe. I've been following Rachel for a little while on YouTube.
mhm.
Some of her videos are cool, and some of her contests, and she's entered some contests, so that's kind of cool. It's real popular now on YouTube to do vinyl contests, YouTube subscriptions, and blah 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 blah. So it's really fun to see that.
And Adam, how long have you been doing videos?
Oh, I've been doing for years. I always did it as a tool to showcase the records I have for sale.
Because
And
I was going to say the contest. I mean, I've been on here 8 years, and the contest used to really be big. 7, 8 years ago.
oh wow,
When I
yeah,
first did them, there was a lot of contests. I used to do a lot in my day, but things have changed on YouTube, make it a little more tough. When you hear when you used to be able to have, like, if you wanted to you ask people to do video entries, make videos for your contest, then you used to be able to have them right in your comments. You remember that period? All the video you could link them right to your comments, so all your commenters would look down into the comment section, and there's all the videos. They
right.
don't do that.
I remember seeing that, but I wasn't. I don't think I was posting in that fashion. Um, I just mostly posted flip videos of records I had going out for sale, and
Yeah.
which was really helpful. It helped me grow and get roots established. Star said lots of alternate mixes, BBCs, outtakes. Oh, 10 to 15 apiece. Worthy investment for any Kinks completists. Very cool. School. Excuse me. Very cool.
Yeah, I'm not a completist. There's so many more that I gotta have to listen to. I mean, I love, like, I guess I say so many times, it gets sickening. The hits, I mean, I like so many of the hits. That CD that I have has everything I want. Well, everything, I guess up to 70, early 70s.
Hmm.
I guess 1970. It doesn't have the Arista stuff.
Hmm. Yeah, Tanner says I kind of like the late 70s, 80s Kinks also. I do too. My favorite period is late 60s, early 70s, but there's great moments throughout the whole career. I agree with you there, Tanner. I like the production as it got into the later 60s. I think the production really stepped up a little bit. And in the 80s, they were sounding really good. Even though it was a different style of music. But I enjoy them all.
Yeah, I still don't have the years down. Like, I don't really know. I know you really got me 64, and I know that Superman is 79. I know Come Dancing is 83, but I
Yeah,
don't know in between. Like, I can't tell when Ape Man is, or that Lola. I don't know when those are.
absolutely. Yeah. Um, the cool thing and the strange things with StreamYard is that if I look at the StreamYard view, I get the comments on the right. They're delayed. And so I have
Yes.
a pop-up on the left of YouTube, so I see the comments on my left before I see them on the right. And which is good in one respect, that I can kick off any trolls before it shows up here. But anyway,
And they will come.
I had a troll last night. Darn it. I just totally ignored him.
Oh, it can be rough.
They can. I mean, it's just, yeah. Hey, Kimba is here and it hasn't popped
Yeah.
up. Hey,
Hello, Kimba.
Kimba. How are
We're
you?
waiting for Kimba and Tom's Vinyl Shack.
Oh, hey, Tom. Yeah, Tom's Vinyl Chat. Good to see you. Star says it's only about $9-10 on eBay sealed. Ooh, that's cool. And this was the highly recommended 2002 2 CD Ultimate Collection. Sounds great sounds, and it has all the hits, including some of the late 70s, 80s stuff, and lots of B-sides and album cuts too. There you go. Yeah.
So that's the one that I need then.
Oh, yeah. I like to get them all. CDs come in, but sometimes special CDs just don't make it in. And I love it when an SACD comes in for buyback. But I think people are throwing CDs in the dumpster now. They just have no value to them.
That's crazy. Well, I mean, at least you can get them cheap. I mean, if you're, when you purchase them, right now is a good time. It's been a good time the last year or two, 3, to get CDs used.
My average price of a CD is $3, and some are more and some are less. And
yeah,
I'm just not bringing in the new ones unless it's something really special. Like I brought in the Tool and occasionally bring in some other stuff, but I don't like having the new CDs sitting around here. And
do you find, Adam, that say older people like senior citizens, they seem to buy CDs instead of records now? Like I that's what I see.
I see that, but also senior citizens have discovered how to use the internet, and they can, or they rip all their CDs and they bring them over here. And I see everything, Joe. I also see the 16-year-old kid who parents just gave them their hand-me-down Camry, and it's got a cassette deck and a CD player. So they're coming in here buying cassettes and CDs. Yeah. So it's a good gamut, but I sell tons more records. Honestly, I have nothing against vinyl, but I've always been a CD person since I was a kid, and I really enjoy the quality and convenience of them while still in the physical. I appreciate CDs too, Starman, absolutely. And the cool thing about CDs is that I like to listen to vinyl, but I like for it to be pristine. And sometimes I have a CD that I can hear it much clearer than I can with vinyl. But it's a tug of war in the fact that I like to listen to it on the vinyl, but I do appreciate the convenience of CD and being able to rip it and put it in the computer, and as well as put it in the car.
Yeah, I love the car thing, and having it all on playing all together on one side. But the thing is too that it's funny. Like take something like the George Harrison album "Gone Troppo" that I did recently on my talk show. I actually played the CD a couple of times in the car, and I enjoyed it. Then I went home and played the vinyl one day. I enjoyed the vinyl more. The sound was actually better on the vinyl in this case. I think the CD was an early CD. And sometimes you actually benefit from having the album the way the artist intended. Older albums they set up side 1, take a break, flip it over, and it starts with introduce side 2. There's a certain structure to that.
And sometimes we get used to the way the songs are in order, and it can vary sometimes with CDs and cassettes. And so, CDs have their upsides. Absolutely, Tom. Though I wish more CDs, only albums were on vinyl. I'm getting lots of emails from records, albums that are being released on CD that's not being pressed on vinyl, and I'm just not bringing them in. If someone wanted me to order it, I'll be glad to. Yeah, absolutely, in a heartbeat. I think it's difficult because some of these CDs sound really bad and some sound jaw-dropping. I agree with you there, Star, especially the originals from the 80s, but that's more mastering than the format. Now, Starman, I'll give you a little tip. When CDs first came available, a lot of them were pressed in Germany, but there's no indication on the label or on the record. I mean, on the actual case or the J card, that it's a German pressing. But we call them a Target CD. It had lines on the actual CD. Have you seen that before, Joe?
You say lines?
We call it a Target CD. It has nothing to do with the department store, but it's like where's the CD? CD, please. For instance, this is not a good example. However, this is a German pressing, but there are some lines that go down vertical and horizontal.
Oh, I didn't know that.
with the lines and then with the circle. I should keep one handy just to show people, but
Yeah.
they sound really good. They were pressed in Germany, and then of course, most everything I heard that was pressed in Japan, CD-wise, sounds incredible. And I can't preach it enough to the choir that SACD, Super Audio CDs, good, 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 good. I was up in Wake Forest today. I have an SACD player connected there. I was playing CDs that weren't SACDs, but it has a wonderful DAC, and it was just wonderful, amazing. Tanner plays both CD and vinyl. Good, good, good. Yeah. And I'll play cassettes. I'll play cassettes in a heartbeat. I'm buying CDs more because they don't take up as much space. Yeah,
I remember when I first started getting into CDs in late '86, early '87. They hadn't been embraced yet, and there was a store that was about an hour's drive at least from where I was living at the time, and there was a tiny little, the tiniest store you could imagine of the CD experience, and it was like they specialized in this new CD format that was starting out, and they had a lot of imports, like you said. You were saying about German, Japanese. That's how I had to get a lot of the solo Beatles at the time, and they were expensive too. And the question is, was it ever going to take over and be more prominent? And I always thought, oh, I can't miss. This is, to me, it was a natural. I used to have a thing I used to sing to the tune of Billy Joel. Was it Billy Joel, Say Goodbye to Hollywood? I used to go,
say goodbye.
well, I said that with DVD. I'm sorry, when DVD, the movies came out, I said, say goodbye to Laserdisc, say goodbye to tape. I used to sing it about DVDs. And I felt the same with records. I'm ashamed to say now, but I was such a ass about it. I was like, records, they're done, they're finished. This is it. This little thing, this is it. And I stayed away from records from '86 till 2011.
Wow.
Exactly. 25 years exactly.
How about that? Yeah. Hey, Star, have you seen the German CDs I talk about? We call them Target CDs. Have you seen the ones that have the lines on it? If you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. To Joe, to follow up on what you said, I went into college into the early 90s, and I started working at the radio station, campus radio station, and we kept getting vinyl like crazy. So in my mind, I never thought that vinyl was going away because the hip hop show was getting tons of vinyl every week. The punk rock show was getting tons of vinyl. And I never thought that vinyl went away or got so scarce just because I was still surrounded by it. And then, and it was just really neat. Yeah. Tom says he's got some Polydor Allman Brothers. I wonder how good they sound. There you go. Star says, I have a Polydor CD, Disraeli Gears by Cream from around 85, and to me it sounds fantastic. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I see James Byers is here.
Oh, hey, James Byers. How are you? James, I'll be glad to share a link with you, sir. And then Starman also shared with me about certain the Beatles CDs that were wonderful listening ones and some that weren't as good. And so he brought me up to speed with that one time.
Oh, I was disappointed with the very first Beatles CDs in '87.
Yeah, a lot of CDs early on were horrible. And yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. Good. Up to date with that, which is good. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, but I'm one of those people. Sometimes when people come in for a buyback with a CD, and even though I'm not sure if they're going to sell it to me or not or accept my offer, as I'm checking them, some of them I'm ripping because it's just such cool CDs that I don't have that I would like to have, to play here in the shop. And people are bringing newer CDs in, 2 or 3 years old, and I'm buying those back, and it gives me an opportunity to hear a lot of music that I sell that I've never heard before. Of course, I could go on YouTube and kind of stream some stuff, but I miss the days of the radio where you got everything, you can listen to it, and us little stores, we don't get anything hardly to listen to at all. Just a few independent labels who we buy from direct will send us some CDs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There is some irony that Yellow Dog and Swingin' Pigs. CDs sound better than I could understand that. I'm a brain James Byers. How are you tonight, sir?
Well, hi,
Hey,
James.
everybody. Hey.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm enjoying a little chat about Polydor.
Oh, wonderful. Polydor is a wonderful label, and they did some great CDs, so I can certainly relate to that myself.
Absolutely. And I've just seen, is it Tom said about the first two Allman Brothers albums?
Yes.
They're the ones that Dwayne's on, so you need those.
Absolutely. Yeah. And don't forget Herbie Mann.
Absolutely, yeah. And of course, Clapton was over here, his CDs were Polydor, his later ones.
Yeah. So, Joe, behind you on your shelf, are your top 3 rows, are they DVDs and Blu-rays?
The first set, I can't see what I'm pointing at. The first one, these are all DVDs. They're movies. Okay. And well, both of them both cabinets actually. And then there's three sets. They're all pretty much DVDs, and then the last one, which is off camera now, I guess, are books.
Books, yeah.
And I'm going to be purging a lot of that. I think, again, time to time, trying to get rid of a lot of movies that I don't think I'll watch anymore. Make more room for other stuff that I am collecting now.
Right, and some people are ripping their movies on a server, and then they're getting rid of them. DVDs and Blu-rays, that's a hard buyback now because they're hard to sell. I got about 8,000 DVDs and Blu-rays in my warehouse.
Sad.
Wow.
Well, I mean, but again, I've always found it fascinating in a way that the last bunch of years, 5, 6, 7 years, whatever, has supposedly been, no more physical media, all streaming, and nobody wants it. But yet, at the same time, on the side, parallel, it's young people getting into physical media for their first time. What is that?
It's the Jimi Hendrix Experience. And it is a Polydor. And this is the double disc set.
Wow.
I was so glad that walked in the door one day. Yeah. I understand exactly what you're saying there, Joe, and the streaming thing. You can't see the extras. You can't see the making of, and
and some young people, a lot of young people think that's cool or whatever, or awesome, whatever they use today. They really think that's great. I mean, I see them come into the record store I go to, and they're all excited. Their eyes light up. You see a lot of them here making videos too, younger people.
Yeah.
And they're really thrilled about physical media. Now, of course, if they were to go into their school, they're in a little niche. They're the minority to their peers, but they're still there as long as you have people to carry the torch. It's just interesting that when supposedly everybody, especially everybody young now, is supposed to be doing streaming, and that's when physical media and vinyl is exciting again to them. How does that work?
Yeah,
absolutely. As a kid, I thought those 87 CDs were my best friends and still have sentimental attachment to all those, despite the fact that they're pretty. Yeah. And there you go. Exactly. I think.
Yeah, I'm not wild about the 2009s much better either.
Is this the Beatles? Yeah.
Yeah, the Beatles ones, yes.
Yeah. Now I did bring in the Abbey Road, and I brought in Sgt. Pepper's and stuff like that because I knew that would be a quick sell right away. Yeah.
Yes, Down in the Groove, the Dylan. I have that. I bought it in '88, and I don't remember the sound being awful, but then again, I only really played Silvio off from that album, and I think The Ugliest Girl in the World. I think there's like two songs I used to play from that album.
And I totally agree with you here, Star. They had to learn how to master just for CD, and it was a new. They had a learning curve, and I'm glad they went over that. And the same with taking digital recordings and mastering it to vinyl. I mean, it just wasn't a straight needle drop, if you would. They learned how to master just for vinyl from a digital file, and therefore some of the vinyl sounds much better that came from a digital file than before. Tanner says, now that's a great album. Yeah. And when they introduced digital remastering to CD, it seems like it was trial and error. I agree with you there. Very cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and again, you know, when they sort of went from even going, you know, sort of from cylinder to vinyl,
Uh-huh.
you know, they made similar mistakes. I mean, it wouldn't be uncommon to get your first song on side one of the format of 33 or whatever it was, and then get half a outtake before you flip the side. They just didn't know back then. So I suppose when CD was new, they kind of had to make the same mistakes. They obviously didn't get incomplete recordings, but in terms of mastering and production and just the fidelity rates, I think they had to learn. And which is why when people grumble about, oh, it's just repackaging, if it's an improvement, I'm going to spend the money, you know. And if it's just the same and the original CD was great, then, you know, fine. I mean, my very first CD I ever bought was Let It Be, you know, and that was in the early 90s. I got that. I bought Let It Be, Al Jolson, and The Best of Cream. My first three. There's a mix for you.
I notice with buyback when people bring in CDs, they can bring in a box full, and I only take a couple dozen just because people do not take care of their CDs like they do vinyl. And if I have a CD that has any marks, people won't buy it. And I can have the Beatles that looks like it's been ran over, and people will pay $4 for it. And but sometimes those early Capitol pressings, it looks like it's been run over, sound incredibly well. I just ripped the Abbey Road box set today, and I haven't heard much of what, but what I've heard is astounding. Overpriced it may be, but still worthy for how great the sound is. I agree, Star. It is very overpriced.
It is. But then, you know, it's only going to be 51. So I don't know. So it's a yin and yang. See, I only got the 2 discs, but of course I listened to the other stuff on Spotify. But yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. And I think you got the Abbey Road, didn't you, Joe? The anniversary.
Oh, sure. I enjoyed it. You know, I liked it as I don't know what you'd call it. I don't know, curio, something different to listen to. I don't know if I would stick with it as my regular go-to, but I enjoyed it. And some of the songs I like better than others. It's Doc Dacus.
Oh, hey, Doc. I'll put a invite in the chat just in case, so he doesn't have to scroll up.
And there's Tom. Hello, Tom Magnati.
There's Tom. So Kimba takes better care of her CDs than her kids. That's right, Kimba. Teach those kids. And then I love this. And I don't have kids. People underestimate CDs because they have tons of scratches and marks. But stuff. You're exactly right. It's only the ones that run in circles that call skips. But people are funny, Star. They will not buy anything that has a mark on it. So if they typically have a mark on it, I put them in the dollar bin or I put them in the quarter bin. I got almost 1,200 that as soon as the weather gets warm and people are in the spring mode, I'm going to put them on the patio and have a big quarter sale one day. And I have 2 CD polishers. Some people call them a resurfacer that I could totally spend so much time to make another $1, but I'm not going to do it. Yeah. Hey, I'm going to bring. Yes, sir.
Disc cleanser here.
There you go. There you go. I'm going to bring Doc up. Hey, Doc, how are you doing tonight?
Hey.
Hey,
Ooh, what's up, Doc?
Super Bowl. What can you say?
Oh, come on.
You had to put yourself up against the Super Bowl, and I had to watch it.
Yeah.
It's not my thing.
You would have
I'm
loved
getting-
the halftime. I
I'm
love
getting
the halftime.
toilet flushes galore here, folks. I hope you
Get
don't
up
hear
to
them. But
Lopez and Shakira there. Holy cow!
Yeah.
That's
Unbelievable.
yeah.
Hello,
I
Tom.
bet.
I am not into that kind of music, but boy, was it entertaining.
There you go. Hey, Joe, up above me, I have an open ceiling, and I hear the exotic sounds of the water flowing from the toilet flushes.
that's what I get.
There's 6 toilets above me,
Yeah.
and occasionally I'll get the water dripping through the ceiling, through the
Yeah.
floor. But hey,
When it flushes, you get like whoosh.
yeah, and people look up, and I said, some people pay to have exotic sounds like that in their house.
That's what I'm getting. But when I use this, I don't think people hear it. That's why I decided to put this on, because I heard people stomp the Super
Yeah.
Bowl party upstairs. So it's like, come on.
Mm.
But it is what it is.
I do the same thing, Star, and my hard drive is almost full. I'm going to have to start deleting. But I get a lot of promotional stuff too on CDs, so I do that. Some of the ones that are pretty cheap or more replaceable, I put on my stereo system occasionally. There you go. There you go. Yeah. Wow. That is so cool. It's so much fun to hear other people's take on things like this, and it's just so rewarding to me.
Mm-hmm.
Doc, I heard you had snow overnight.
We had snow Saturday, and it's gone now.
Oh, is it all gone?
Yeah, it was in the 40s today, but boy, was it windy. I tried making an outdoor video, and it was, I could only use parts of it. So
Now,
Mhm.
tomorrow, we're expecting 72 degrees, and I'm going to have to close for a couple hours and take the roadster out for a ride with the top back.
oh,
I'm loving this winter. We're supposed to have the temperatures here in the 50s, really,
Yeah.
which is good.
I personally think the Adam, Joe, Doc, and James chat is much more entertaining than any
another.
another Super Bowl. Thank you so much. Ted.
Thank you.
That is so
Sure,
much.
but so is watching paint dry to me. So that's not saying much. That's just me, though.
I still love the halftime show, though. I haven't been paying attention to the game much. It's 10-10 last I saw, but I just had to see what this halftime thing was going to
Hey,
be. It blew.
nobody can blame me for watching.
There you go.
Okay.
By the way, Curry, let me know if you get any CDs in you'll think I like. At your prices, I'll buy them from you. I will. I'll be glad to start. Sometimes I share cool things that I get, like I got a David Bowie Ziggy Stardust. Is that the one on Ryko? And I reached out to Star, and he said, yeah, that's the one to have. And so that's cheaper than.
Tom Hunyadi, you can't join now. Just want to say hi. You're not watching the Super Bowl, are you? Yeah, I'm the odd man out.
I won't be staying long anyway because I have to get up in the morning. I'm not a morning person, so
Oh, I
I
am.
have 20 minutes left, and I'll have to leave you. Sorry.
Oh, well, it's great that we'll be graced with you for 20, 25 minutes. Doc, I appreciate that.
And
Oh, yeah,
it's
with
20
twice.
to 2 here. So I delayed my going to bed because I saw you were live.
Isn't that nice?
Oh,
That's
Yes,
right, big-
Well, how
thank you so
see
much.
you
I
guys,
appreciate
you know. I think so. The man who sold the world. Okay, Starman saying it was the man who sold the world. Yeah.
Oh, so I got it wrong.
Hmm.
So thank you, Star, for clarifying that. I appreciate it a bunch.
Wrong
And-
answer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's still 10-10.
10-10.
Yeah.
There you go. I don't even know who's playing.
It's the
I don't even
Giants.
know.
We were playing until it started.
It's the Giants and the Chiefs.
Okay. And I was going to say
Patriots.
I would be so.
49ers.
It wouldn't bother me at all if I went to bed tonight not knowing who had played.
No, I saw it.
I could really care less.
Man, I had that one too, Star, and then I also had the one with Kanye West on the cover. Yeah.
I am going to watch, there's this show, Collector's Call. Does anybody know that show about collecting? It's on every Sunday night here anyway at 9:30 Eastern time. So I'm going to be leaving at 9:30 to watch that anyway. So I have like some
I
time
thought
yet.
that advertised this morning, but I forget what station it was on.
What channel does that come on, Joe? I'm sorry for interrupting.
That Me TV.
Oh,
you
okay.
know,
Yeah, okay. Must have
and
advertised it during the Flintstones.
they're in the Flintstones.
Yeah.
Collector's Call. Yeah, I'm going to. It's going to be. I think it's going to be a Twilight Zone collector tonight. I think has everything Twilight Zone. I didn't think there was enough Twilight Zone material to be obsessed about. But
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, that is right, sir. I think so. If I'm not mistaken, I had The Man Who Sold the World and Ziggy. Yeah, and it was the Ziggy on the Ryko. I'm pretty sure I had them. But anyway, yeah. I'm going to see if I can find Collector's Call maybe on somewhere streaming, but I would like to check it out on your recommendation, Joe.
Well, they had an Elvis collector the other show that was like amazing. The biggest Elvis collection. It's just I don't know how people have space and room for it, but if you have a whole house, I guess you do.
So, Joe, when are they coming to your house?
Never. They probably will go to Beetle Brad's house or Tom, aka Mr. Beatles Pro, before they go to mine. Because other people have way better collections. But,
I see a lot in there.
well, that's a trick, I guess. That's the way it's. Not all of it's Beatles in here.
Yeah, I enjoy watching Tom, Beatles Pro. I enjoy watching his content.
Yeah, he's got some collection.
Everyone said he's a performer for me after moving twice during the last 4 years. I don't even have my turntable set up. I give you my address, Wes. Just depending on my Blows Wave player to listen to my CDs. That's totally cool. Hey, if you decide you don't need that turntable, reach out. Let me know what model it is. I might be interested in checking it out for myself if you want to get rid of it. I'm always looking good tables.
Yeah, West. Hello, West. West made me a really amazing solo Beatles A to Z series of CDs.
Oh, he did.
In alphabetical order. I mean, not every solo song, but every Beatles song and some choice solo cuts, A to Z, which is I forget how many discs there were. 20 discs, 15, 20.
Oh, I think I remember seeing that on your channel.
Something like that.
That's awesome.
Who's the cat that does like reproductions and like fan club pressings or fan club burns like he did introducing the Beatles for you?
That was introduced with the covers and everything.
Yeah,
I mean, that was somebody else.
yeah.
Dr.
It was
Ebbets.
Robert.
Wasn't Dr. Ebbets?
I don't know if they.
Robert?
Ebbets, Robert P.
Robert P.
I don't know if they had anything to do with those.
Hey, Tanner, you gotta go. Thank you, Tanner, so much for stopping by.
Okay, Tanner.
Again. Thank you, sir. Yeah. Oh gosh. Why are these trolls subscribing to my channel? Why do they do that? Oh gosh. I still use my Discman and headphones for CDs. Good for you. I got a whole pile of Walkmans, that's for sure. Hey, I gotta say, the turntable that the crate recommended for me is fabulous and works like dream. The guy's a master. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
He's not a troll. How do we know?
I don't think they're all trolls. If they are, you'll know.
Somebody's just texting like crazy.
I'm gonna stab you as well with my X-Acto blade.
So,
Anybody?
yeah, well, I'm so happy, Star, that you're enjoying that turntable. I really am.
I'm doing just great. I have a few screws loose, though. Therefore, I have to take my screwdriver and put them straight.
Algernon, my little black bag, I shall have to operate. Yes.
Yes, sounds like Victor Spinetti.
I saw your blooper video, Joe. That looked.
Yeah. Oh, you see me stab myself with the X-Acto knife? I was like,
No
yikes.
blood was spilled.
No.
That was amazing. How do you stab yourself without any blood?
Yeah, and then I was going. Here I am going through a new. What do you call it? Words will come to me. I'm getting old. Book. Wings book. And I'm like, I kept checking my finger to make sure. I had to edit that all out of the finished video. I kept looking, like, make sure there's nothing on the pages, no blood on the.
Oh,
You can pay $100 or something for the set.
wow.
Yeah, I missed your afternoon. I missed your afternoon stream, Joe. But did you pick up any vinyl this afternoon?
Yeah, I did. As a matter of fact, what do I remember picking up? See, my short term is bad. I picked up a Dusty Springfield LP. One of them. I don't remember the name of that one, but I picked up. I love this song by the Ozark Mountain Daredevils, Jackie Blue. And
I love that song too.
I got the album of it, whatever it was called, and this one was a promo, like a white label promo. And on the album, on the LP itself, the song is longer than the one that we're used to hearing. So,
Wow, interesting.
I want to say thanks to Wes for subscribing to me. I appreciate that, sir. I've been subscribed to you for quite a while.
yeah, it was a painful, Starman. Ooh. I felt like Ken Berry in F Troop when they were putting the badge on him. I'm painting it on. Some blood was spilled. I thought maybe Doc would know that.
Actually, I do. I've got a disc of F Troop episodes over there. So.
Oh, I just want to see Melody Patterson. That's all I want.
She was underage when she did that show.
Yes, well, she didn't look underage.
Yeah, she lied about her age and they let her on.
Yeah.
Like a George Harrison in Sideways, whatever.
I saw her at a convention in the year 2000s sometime, and she doesn't look like that anymore. She didn't look like that anymore. I think she's passed now. I think she died, maybe. But she didn't look that good. She was older.
She didn't age well, in other words.
No.
Wow.
Paul McCartney's Blood on the Pages. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah. Blood on the pages. Flowers in the dirt and blood on the pages.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I gotta get more centered here. I'm afraid to show too much stuff in the back. Ooh.
I like the colors on your shirt, Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're nice.
That is cool.
The drop T font.
You can't see anything. Once I lose more weight, I'll do my videos sitting back, Father.
Oh,
I'm so plain.
With CGI.
CGI, there you go.
That's where I work. Contract glaziers.
Contract laborers?
Glaziers.
Great.
Ah, what's the I? International?
No, just
Interesting.
Contract, interesting glazers. Yes, it's almost
operated, I guess.
Is that a
sounds like
record manufacturing facility? Is it a vinyl pressing plant?
No, we build windows.
You built what?
Windows.
Oh, cool.
So
so you do admit to that.
yeah, but that's what the company does. But I don't build the windows. I go get milk and take out the garbage and do the banking and any other fun stuff that they come up with.
And
so
when you
quite a high position.
Yeah, I'm a gopher guy.
and when you retire, you can come down to Raleigh and you can do that for Record Crate.
I'm getting close.
I'm getting close.
That's it. You got to be, and then you got to fly over to.
Yeah.
What did he say?
I think you said you got to fly over to London, but I think your last statement dropped out, James Byers.
Oh no, I was just saying, yeah, you got to fly over to London, get you all over here.
Yeah. Oh, James Byers. Speaking of London, my buddy Simon, who lives in Cheshire, is in town, and he's going to stop by one evening this week, and we're going to go live. And I told him that a lot of you guys were asking about him, so that's really cool.
Yeah. Well, just Cheshire is the next county up from Liverpool.
Yes, and he talks about going to Liverpool fairly often.
We'll see. Whereas Doc can get to like Michigan in about an hour, Simon can get to Cheshire and Liverpool in about an hour, if that. So,
and apparently that's a good place for them to go shopping and for drinks and for dinner. Yeah.
Okay, well, good. Yeah. See, my family live sort of further north than that, but yeah, it's good. It's nice.
How about that? That is awesome. So anyway, it was cool to see Simon. He went over to my Wake Forest location this afternoon. It was the first time he's been there, so he'll be in town for a week.
Oh, good. Nice.
I'm looking forward to that, hanging out with him again. He's a cool cat.
Yeah, nice guy.
And he's always taking great records back to
Cool cat.
Cool cat. Yeah. Why bother building and selling windows when you can have a gaping hole in the side of your house for free?
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea.
Yeah. This house comes without windows. There's just a hole. That's why the price is high. It's a new trend in this town, you see.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And plus it's bad enough trying to keep these places warm in the wintertime anyway.
Absolutely.
Kevin says if you're from Cheshire, I expect him to be grinding ear.
Grinning, yeah.
Grinning.
Cheshire cat.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
I should give the rest to Jeremy. I don't know anyone called Jeremy. Sorry. Who's Jeremy?
Cadden Jeremy, of course.
Let's do the Brady Bunch thing. Can you do the Brady Bunch thing?
Oh, wait a minute. I forget which way to look. Oh, yeah.
Probably backwards.
Did I do it right?
I don't know. You have to do the opposite. So if I want to see Joe, I go this way. Yeah. And if I want to see James, I go this way. If I want to see Doc, I go this way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how they did it. They didn't have StreamYard back then. I have no idea. There's also another thingy called Zoom, Zoom.
Chase the day away.
Video.
I gave the rest to Jeremy.
Adding like this also.
What can he do with half a hole?
Well, yes.
In the hole where the rain's getting in.
Jeremy, Hillary.
It's Doc right there. Hey, Doc, how you doing? All right, Doc. I'm trying to see if that worked. I was trying to figure if I did it right.
Absolutely.
Almost.
Jeremy Boob. That's the one, yes.
Oh, 13-10 now.
Oh, really?
13-10.
For San Francisco. 13-10.
13.
Well, if you go into San Francisco.
I left my heart in San Francisco.
No, it did. The Doc thing didn't work. I know because I'm watching now on the delay. I don't get it till I see it down here. Oh, that was terrible. Didn't work, Doc.
Oh,
I think that's more the way I'm supposed to point like this.
So many times I watched the beginning of the Brady Bunch and just looked at them and figured out how they did it, how long it took, and it was genius how it all came together.
Well, probably when you watch that beginning scene, they just had to sit in a chair, right? And just everybody shot separately and just go look up, look down, look this way and that way, and they probably would. No, that wouldn't work for all of them.
Yeah,
because the people on the end.
Okay.
And then they have to chop it up and put it together. Be sure to wear flowers.
All the girls on one side, all the guys on the other. So, and Alice, she didn't have to do a thing; just look forward.
Yeah. Boy, Alice seems so old to me now. When I watch the show, she doesn't look old, Alice. Boy, I'm getting old, huh?
When I was a kid, I thought she was really old, and
yeah,
it's kind of like that lady on Golden Girls. She was younger than some of the other ladies. Like,
yeah,
the mother was younger than.
Yeah, she's supposed to be younger. Yeah, in real life.
And she died first.
Don't know.
I don't know. I really don't know. Kimba said, try that Brady routine at the BMV and see what happens.
What's the BMV?
Yeah.
I was hoping you knew that, Doc.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
What is the B? BM? I don't know.
See if we got any cool things to show here.
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't know. I'm looking at. I think I've shown everything within reach. Okay. Oh, how about this book? Oh, I have some books here. What is this? Ooh.
That's within reach.
What was that for?
Growing Up with the Beatles
Oh,
by Ron Schomburg, who grew up with the Beatles, went to school. A book just about him being a fan throughout their entire tenure and afterwards in the early solo years. I might do something like this for me.
there you go.
Yeah. Well, listen, I have a Beatle mug, which you can't really see them, but there it is.
A cup.
Yeah,
The Beatles.
the
That's it.
Beatles.
Oh, I see the Beatles on it. Yes, I didn't see it first.
I picked this up recently. Does that count?
Pac-Man.
Everyone should have a Pac-Man. Mini
It's
Pac-Man.
Pac-Man. Pac-Man's
Wow,
great.
That's awesome.
That was my favorite game, Pac-Man.
Pac-Man's
Pac-Man.
awesome, yeah.
Bureau
There's
of Motor Vehicles. You get your picture taken for your license.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know me,
Yeah.
Tim, I had to go. I had to do something fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can show this cool 8-track, and it's sealed, factory sealed.
Let's see it.
Close Encounters.
Close
Ooh,
Encounters of the Third Kind.
Wow.
Wow.
Nice.
Hmm.
What do I have here? Damn it.
Put $18 on it.
It's $4.98. It's on the Springboard label.
Hmm.
I grew up with the Beatles, except for the fact
Yeah.
I've never met them personally, knew them, or even had their form of contact with them. I think it's just so cool, Joe, that you met Yoko. I really do. I have uber respect for her.
Wow, you read my mind. I was just thinking of Yoko. Whoever didn't see I think Kimber was saying I did a good a legendary chat this afternoon. It's true, and it was Yoko. I was imitating Yoko singing, and
Wow.
among other things. That's not all I was doing, but it was pretty pretty funny. And I'm going to do a video on that. I did a video on that. After I enjoyed it so much in the live stream from the store, singing with my guitar and doing Yoko song, that I figured when I'm finished with this chat, I'm going to make a video of it. And it's me singing a Yoko song. And I think it's pretty funny.
No,
People
I
like
think I would rather. I'm sorry, James.
No, I was going to say, I've got to check that out.
No, it'll be funny. It's funny. It's not all screaming, but there is some in there.
No
I
offense,
think
no disrespect. I would rather spend an hour with Yoko than Paul or Ringo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I like her art. I like the fact that she is a visual artist, and I like the fact that what I read that she encouraged John to express his peace and love in different ways. And I just have uber respect for Yoko. And plus, kiss, kiss, kiss. I mean,
Yeah. And I do too. I mean, I know I'm alone in this. We're lonesters in this, but whatever. It's a controversial subject.
yeah, absolutely. So is everything else, but I like the Yoko. Yeah, who would you like to spend 30 minutes with or an hour with, folks?
John Lennon. Yeah, that's right. John's not here anymore. Oh boy, I could have tried to meet him a lot more. I only made a couple of half-assed attempts when he was around. I didn't. It was just, young and a teenager and stuff, and didn't really think he's going to be gone. But I could. That's one of my big regrets, because I could have possibly met him.
Yeah.
And now it's like 30 years on.
Yeah.
40.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think in Beatle people, I think George.
George?
George.
I mean, I musically, my favourite's Paul, but as a guy, George, I just, yeah.
I think if I were to meet George, I would want to meet him at the racetrack, and I would rather talk cars.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the car races.
Yeah.
I've always meant to ask you, Joe, have you heard anyone speak about Ringo's vision?
Vision.
Yeah.
You mean actual vision?
Yeah, several years ago, I heard that he was almost blind.
Well,
it can't be.
That's interesting you should say that, because he never really takes his glasses off. And a
Right.
couple of times behind the glasses, I thought I noticed that, you get used to years and years when your favorite heroes, what they look like. And I thought his eyes looked kind of like, I can't do it, but they're like, kind of rounded and big under there, like as if
Yeah.
he had something done. I just kind of thought that left my mind, went in and left. But I think maybe you're right there with that. Reminds me of, I don't know how many people here saw Roger Moore in the James Bond movie A View to a Kill. And there's a scene in there where he has his eyes popping out of his head. I think he had something done to his eyes in there. He's like, you have to see the movie, and he's walking around introducing himself with another name, saying James St. John Smythe, and he's walking around and he's saying James St. John Smythe, nice to meet you. And his eyes are like really wide. I can't see anything, guys. What a damn shame. Don't get old.
No, hey, I mentioned my vision to you earlier, so yeah.
Yeah. I mean, right. Three of us here have glasses, but I always tell everybody, I never thought I'd ever need them ever, because
I don't think Joe's ever seen this. Joe, I have a
John.
glass. I have a glass. I don't have a lens in my left eye
Oh.
because I have very little vision in my left eye, and it just interferes with what I can see. Starman said, "I like to ask Paul McCartney, what the hell happened between you and the Egypt station? Because I can't believe it. He grew."
Just a lot of bad choices, really.
I much prefer the new album New. Yeah, I would say the album New.
Yeah.
I don't dislike Egypt Station. I just feel personally it's overblown. A lot of fans really think that's one of his greatest albums. I'm like, I don't understand that, personally.
I like it, but I got annoyed by it just because, within the space of 10 months or a year, we got those 3 editions.
Mm-hmm.
And if I want to hear them, I can put them on Spotify. I don't need to buy it 3 times and then. So, yeah, it became his most annoying album for me.
Yeah, I know what you mean, James. That has happened in a way. It has a stigma to it for me. I don't, even though it's been over a year, maybe something like that. I still feel like, every time I think of that album, I think of another version. And even Doc did that in his right. Doc, you did that talking about Egypt. That another version of Egypt Station or something. So.
It just kept coming, and there was no end to it.
No, it's too much. Too much.
I mean, the songs are fine. Some of the songs are incredible. Just, yeah, I've had enough. Get enough.
Talking all the way to the bank.
That's a good track.
Star said his father met George twice. Couldn't believe how down to earth he was. Star also said, my mom, who was watching the Super Bowl, just told me the camera zoomed in on Sir Paul at the game. And where's the game taking place?
Miami.
And Wes says they just showed Paul McCartney and his wife and the beautiful people.
I've missed out.
San Francisco, 10:20.
So, who was that? Angela Lansbury was sitting with Paul's wife?
Angela Lansbury.
Is that the Murder, She Wrote lady?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, Lord.
I think I remember seeing enough of it to change the station on Sunday nights or something. Growing up, and I was like, "Where's the Simpsons? I gotta try." Or Tracy Ullman. Where's Tracy Ullman?
Yeah.
See
Absolutely.
you, kids. It's after 9 o'clock. I have to sign off. I'm sorry.
Oh, Doc,
Okay,
I
Doc.
Pleasure being with all of you. Wherever
hope,
you are.
Okay, Doc.
I hope you have a wonderful
See you
week
later,
at work,
Doc.
Take care.
and
That
we'll
worked.
see you soon, Doc.
I'll be
Right.
I'll look at it replay.
at the Hillbillies.
Thank you so much for being part of this. And
All right.
there you go.
See you later.
You're welcome. I'm going to send another invite out. Wes, you're more than welcome to click on this if you like, sir, and join us.
I don't think I've ever seen Wes before.
Yes.
I don't think.
Yeah. I've seen Wes pop up in your chats. And
Favorite song on Live Peace in Toronto.
Oh,
I think I like. Let me think. It takes a long time to think of one.
I like Disney Miss
Either Your
Lizzie.
Blues. Disney Miss Lizzie's good too. Yeah. I might like Give Peace a Chance. Is the only version of that I like. I don't like the record
Mm,
much. It's too monotonous for me.
yeah, I can understand that.
Oh, Joe, you're so biased to John Lennon. You can never say anything negative. Well, I just did.
like I always say, we have to admit all four of them did do some terrible stuff.
Let me see. Yeah. I have to
And
say.
as much as we love them, you can't get it right all the time.
Is there a terrible song by the Beatles?
A terrible song by the Beatles.
Not by the Beatles, no. I don't, for me.
Well, I mean, no, not for you. For me, I just cannot stand "P.S. I Love You." I hate it.
Oh, I never understand that. A lot of people, not a lot, but I've heard people say that. You're not alone. And I don't understand because I really love that song. But everybody's different,
And I don't like "Ask Me Why."
Oh,
Um,
you're hurting me.
and I get annoyed with Wild Honey Pie. I know it's not
Oh,
really, it's not really,
Yeah.
a song, but
If
as
I'm
people say, people say I can't say anything bad about Paul. He's done some terrible things. So there you go.
Oh, for sure.
If I'm listening to the record, it's sound test and it's got Octopus's Garden on it, I turn the volume down when that song comes.
Oh,
I like that song. But John Lennon, I mean, to me, my personal two worst John Lennon songs for me, solo anyway. One of them is Sunday Bloody Sunday, which I don't really like much from the.
oh yeah.
And it's not the subject or anything. It's mostly I don't know. It just doesn't have much of a tune to it or something. I don't like that. And the song that he wrote for Ringo, "Cooking in the Kitchen of Love."
Oh yeah.
Not a favorite.
That was John's last session during his hiatus.
P.S. I Love You is my favorite songs ever.
Uh,
Wild Honey isn't exactly the genius we come to know them for, but it's fun.
Well, to me, I mean, I'm sure. Well, maybe some people think this is an excuse. Because if I think something stinks by my favorite band, I'll say it. But I personally just think that it's like a segue into something else. Just a little piece that's in between the White Album. It doesn't really phase me as a song. I'd rather have it than not. If you know what I mean. I'd rather just between songs and I'm trying to think. When people ask me my least favorite Beatles song, there are a few down there. I used to say "It's All Too Much," but now I might not put that at the bottom.
Mine would be Dear Prudence.
Oh,
I
really?
love to hear Dear Prudence. I even like to hear Susie and the Banshees sing Dear Prudence.
oh yeah.
Yeah. Joe, you may have said it before in your videos, forgive me if I've overlooked it, but Harry Nilsson, he did some stuff with Donna and also with Ringo. Is that something you enjoy listening to?
Well, not because necessarily because it's Harry, it's Harry and I like it, but I mean some of the things that pop into mind. You mean you're talking about the production that John did for him on his Pussycats album, or you mean songs that he wrote with Ringo and stuff?
Just collaborations between.
Oh, well, there's a lot of songs I like Snookeroo was Elton John. A song called "Drumming Is My Madness" I liked on a Ringo "Stop and Smell the Roses" album. Harry Nilsson wrote that. I'm trying to think which one I'm drawing a blank now. What other ones he wrote? with Ringo and collaborations. Oh, I'm drawing a blank, but I know. Oh, there's one called Old Dirt Road with John and Harry. I think they both
Mhm.
worked on that. That one I'm not too wild about. But overall, yeah, I can't remember all the songs now. I'm drawing a blank with some of the Ringo songs
Mm-hmm.
that I like that Harry collaborated with. And I can't think of the other. I think "Stop and Take the Time to Smell the Roses" the actual song.
Yes.
I think was co-written with Harry Nilsson, and that's in the spirit that's intended is a complete lark. It's just a complete let's have a laugh. I think it's not supposed to be serious.
Yeah.
But I mean, like favorite artists going Duff. I mean, some of Clapton's stuff during his drinking phase is awful, and I'm pretty much obsessed with Clapton. Again, the Stones, they did some terrible things. I just don't like. Oh, you're not a fan if you criticize. Well,
oh
no.
yeah, sure.
You know,
Well, James, I get that both ways, and it's so frustrating because if I criticize, they say, "Oh, you're not a fan. You shouldn't be criticizing. How could you do that? What kind of fan are you?" And then if you're always praising something, you don't criticize. It's like, oh, you're just a sycophant, and you're just too biased, and you're a fanboy and all that. So you can't win either way.
no, exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah. Clapton. Yes. People love
Yeah,
the
when was Clapton's drinking phase?
From about 74 till 87.
Now, you see, I don't know Clapton that well, but I know I love I Shot the Sheriff.
Yeah.
That's 74. I love Lay Down Sally, 77.
Yeah.
I like After Midnight, the slower version of After Midnight. I think
that's 87. That's when he's just stopped drinking. Yeah.
She's waiting. Dun, dun,
Oh yeah.
I like that.
That's with Phil Collins. Phil Collins produced that.
There you go. Hey, Harold. Not Harold, but Wes. Just for reference, in the future, even if you don't have a camera, you still can use your microphone and you can talk. And so that's an option if you ever wanted to exercise that option, sir.
Because you can do this.
You can do this. You can do that.
Do that. There you go. It's magic if you know how.
There you go. Yeah. Joe, do you have the John Lennon Imagine CD set?
The one that just came out last year or the year before that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the box. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that a good listen?
Oh, I loved it. Yeah, I loved it. And I liked the remix too because for me it was just enough to make it sound really sharp and full without it changing and altering things in the mix that you're used to hearing too much. Which I'm hit and miss on Giles Martin. A lot of people praise him, like just because he's George Martin's son, I think. But I don't like some of. I was going to say a lot of the things. I gotta watch how I say it because I speak loosely without thinking my words out.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the things I like very much that he did. Some of them I don't at all. What he did to certain songs. So
I really hope that Yoko has communicated very well with Sean, and they have created a plan for the future with some of John's stuff and releases and letting things out. And I hope there's a plan so that when Yoko is no longer with us, that Sean will have total respect for his father's catalog and anything that hasn't been released.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's the plan. I mean, I would be Sean, I guess. They're not going to be Julian.
Yeah.
So I would guess so. Unless both of them have a say, I don't know how that's going to work.
Right.
But I would think it would be Sean. And I really hope he does the right thing because Yoko, I think, has done the right things more or less. I mean, there's hit and misses too. But for the most part, I always thought that she really protected his legacy and did a pretty good job putting stuff out, as opposed to, say, the Harrisons. Which is, come on. They're not doing much of anything. But that might have been George's wishes. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Patty is George's wishes. What about Prince? Patty is definitely doing wonderful Instagram posts, and I've been enjoying those. I think Giles has done a great job with most of the Beatles stuff, but they're vastly different from the originals. whereas the Imagine one is a new mix. That's basically saxophone.
Yeah.
music.
That's
Okay.
what it is. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
well said. Yeah. Okay. With Paul, I cringe every time I hear Motor of Love.
You and me both, Wes.
Is that the one on Flowers in the Dirt?
Oh yes.
That's it. Yeah.
Motor of love. Oh, no,
Motor of
I didn't
Love.
get with that.
Well, I mean, I don't like that album much anyway. You know.
Me either. I can't say that to Ken Michaels. It's Ken Michaels' favorite album of Paul's.
Ooh.
I do the show with. But I was listening to it because I had the new archive set,
Hmm.
and I was listening to it and saying, let me hear this. Some of the songs just still don't work for me, even 30 years later or so.
Hmm.
I don't like that day is done.
No.
Kind of dirgy to me. How Many People is another song I'm not wild about.
Yeah.
There's a song I'm starting to like that I didn't like much at the time. It's called "We Got Married," which is another slow
Oh
one.
yeah.
Kim,
Yeah.
that's a good point. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. I think releasing stuff while the first generation fans are still alive is an honorable one.
Mm.
I agree with you there. Yeah. Tom says Motor of Love is not that great. It's still not very good though. Honestly, I'm with Tom. Yeah.
And who would you be with if you were lying? Was it? Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, it's crazy. I'm glad that Paul was enjoying the football game. Good for him. He's a means to have the best beer in his seat. And he probably didn't have to drive there.
You know, about 12 years ago, he was still with Heather, and it's during the Wimbledon final, and there's not much going on, and they cut to Paul, and he's sitting there, he's air drumming, just doing this, and Heather notices the cameras are on. She elbows him, going, "Look," and he's going, "What?" And he stops air drumming and gives a little wave. He's like, "No, we've all caught you. You're air drumming."
That's funny.
Yeah.
I remember seeing him on TV at a Yankee game. I don't know why I hate the New York Yankees. I don't know why I was watching, but I saw him in the Yankee Stadium. But James, when you said that, it made me think of something else, not totally unrelated, but has to do with Paul. In 2006, in New York City, he was at the Virgin Megastore signing autographs, CDs and stuff. And I knew it would be near impossible to get in there. I tried going down there, but I didn't go early. I figured, I'll go after all the mayhem is over, and I'll just go in. Maybe they'll let me in the store. Well, they did. After 200 people or so got through early. They must have been there for days waiting on line. I can't do that anymore. I'm older, so I'm not going to do that. But anyway, the point is, so I remember they let us in the store afterwards, and we were on the top floor and looking down because we couldn't get down to the bottom floor where he was signing for everybody. But you could watch him almost like over the rail like that, watching him sign. And what I remember is they were playing Beatles music on there, and one of them was "Please Please Me," and I just loved. He's signing autographs for somebody. "Please Please Me" is on, and he's just like, as he's signing, he's going like, he's like mouthing the words. Oh yeah, Like I just remember that was so cool that he was doing that.
Yeah.
Just
That's
like as if
sweet.
he was like a fan of the Beatles.
Oh, that is sweet.
Tom said, "We Got Married." Great guitar from Pink Floyd's David Gilmour. I agree with you there.
I didn't know
Gilmour.
David Gilmour was on there.
Wes says, "Have any of you heard the White Album tribute that a woman named Morgan James did? She has a video for the full album here on YouTube. Check it out sometimes."
She covers the songs.
I have not. Tribute. I have not. Have you heard that, Joe?
No.
I have.
All right.
I have heard Mrs. Miller doing some stuff. Are you familiar with her, Joe?
Nope.
I'm gonna take an image of this so I can look it up. Capitol Records. She was doing covers of the Beatles. She had this very sporadic operetta soprano voice, and apparently she knew somebody at Capitol that got her the best record deal in the world. probably a better record deal than the Beatles. And so she is just so odd and strange and cool and wonderful all at the same time. Mrs. Miller, she did It's Been a Hard Day's Night. If anybody deserves anything on YouTube, it's that one song by Mrs. Miller. It's Been a Hard Day's Night. I love it.
Wow.
But thanks to Wes, I'm going to look that up for myself.
I guess you both heard Peter Sellers doing Hard Day's Night.
I have
Oh,
not.
It has
He
been a
does it-
hard day's night, and I
Yes.
have been working like a dog.
Oh, I
He
have.
just-
Yeah.
He just talks it out,
It's great.
dramatically, and it's hysterical.
It's awesome.
Mrs. Miller. is
He
the
also
greatest
did She
artist
Loves
of-
You. I've heard him do She Loves You.
Oh, I haven't heard that, but I've got to check it out.
And the same kind of arrangement,
Oh, brilliant.
She loves you, yes. She loves you, yeah.
Mhm. You know,
I
I feel
love Mrs. Miller Starman. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, I will admit I'm still a technical idiot. Only bought my very first cell phone lesson. Congratulations. Yeah,
Wow.
we're
Yeah.
touching that, Wes.
I never thought I'd be addicted to smartphones, but I am. Because I would have, my rant video series where I make rant videos. I would be, if it was years ago, I'd be ranting about people with their phones. I still am, really. And I said, I never thought that I would ever stoop to that, being addicted to a phone, but I am. And maybe because I got my first one in January 2017, so I'm not, it's not that long ago. And once I got it, besides having a camera with me to make videos everywhere I go, pull the camera out, I'm always finding that I'm checking my channel for the latest comments.
Yeah. Good for
So
you.
I can give a heart, like, to them, and I'm doing that even when I'm at work. And although I don't like talking about work for a number of reasons, but when I get a break every 10 or 15 minutes, it's like, okay, pull it out. Then, finish what I'm doing, pull it out. Anything new? Okay. And I'm doing that. Complete addiction to it.
Well,
And I
it
even
also helps
catch
you work
myself.
better.
I'm sorry?
It helps you work better, too.
Yeah, depending on what you're doing. Distracts me a little bit, too. But and also, I got to admit, and I'm really fighting it and doing pretty well at it, I'm getting into that car habit a little bit. I'm not letting that happen because there's nothing I hated more than distracted driving. But I find I used to say, I used to be driving, I'd be, look at this idiot. I'm doing like a rant video here. I'd be like, look at this moron. I say, he's over here next to me. He's got a red light, and he has to pull out that phone. He can't even sit at it now. As soon as I get a red light, I'm like, and he comments, okay. I keep my eyes. As soon as it's going to go green, I stop. But, it's like, it's happening.
Yeah.
I'm
Wow.
guilty of listening to YouTube videos as I'm driving down the road. Tom, I'm thinking you agree with about Mrs. Miller. Please tell me it's so. I love her to death, and I hope. But
I
yeah.
will check her out, Mrs. Miller.
Oh, she is awesome. Hard Day's Night. I need to find out who she knew.
So is it comedy or is it just crazy? Is it unintentional?
Very serious. She's very serious. She's a wonderful singer.
Okay.
Really high register. She's on pitch. She's dead on. But she is just, yeah.
Wow.
Tom says, get off the phones.
You're so right. And I've even made videos. I haven't done it in a while, but I have made videos driving on holding the phone. I don't know if you've noticed that. I'm admitting it. Before, I drive and I would have the phone and I'm like out there and I'm driving.
Yeah.
I don't have a holder. I'm like driving. I made a few about like that. Now I've stopped, but in the beginning I was doing that a little bit.
And it's not uncommon to have a camera on your rearview mirror facing forward, just recording everything that's happening. We have the backup cameras. Some of them you can turn them and just record video while you're traveling. Yeah.
I'm against all that stuff, even on new cars. I have an old car, but on the new cars, they have everything right there, like a whole screen. Are you
Yeah.
really going to be watching videos and watching TV and like typing to people while you're driving? I don't know.
Or voice to text. When I practice driving, I throw it in the back seat. I don't have a back seat, Tom.
No, especially not
Well,
if you take the
fellas,
road.
if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna. Well, first of all, it worked out good because I only have 10% battery left anyway. I forgot to charge it before I came here, but I wanted to see that show, collector show.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to go check that out, and it's been really a lot of fun here, and I really appreciate you, Adam, for letting me on.
Sure.
And
I enjoy learning
do
about
more.
music and discussing music. So wonderful. Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful evening. I hope it's a good episode this time.
Yeah, it'd be
And
fun.
in the meantime, keep the music
Okay.
playing.
Okay, everybody. Thanks.
Good night.
Take care, Joe.
Good night. Good morning.
I'm with
Oh.
Tom and Kimba. There you go, Wes. Yeah, there you go. Wonderful, yeah. And James, what's traffic like in London? Is it busy, 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 busy?
It can be chock-a-block. And you know what, I've got to say, because I don't drive, so I either get driven or I use transport. And I think, okay, I'm 38, I'm not that old, but I've got to the age now where it started happening. I detest school kids on a bus. I've become that person.
Uh-oh. I've never behaved like that.
No, because that was me once upon a time, and now I've become, oh gosh. So if I see a load of school kids coming on, I just think, oh, my hackles immediately go up. I'm already angry, and they're not see them approaching as the bus gets to the stop. Think, here we go. And I wouldn't mind if they didn't speak too loud or at least play decent music.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm just practicing for middle age already. I don't know.
Or most of the kids on the bus, do they have their earbuds in?
If they do, they play it loudly, you can hear, or they just play it on their phone with no phone. And to say, it's mostly rap and grime.
Yeah.
And it's not, and it's like it just takes over. So I'm practicing for my future grouchiness.
Very
Bing
good.
Crosby doing Hey Jude. Ooh.
I haven't heard that, but Wes, I want to look that up. Absolutely. Yeah. I
Wow.
love hearing. I mean, it was real popular. I'm sure Andy Williams did a few Beatles songs, and
He probably did. Oh, good old Andy.
I love hearing psych orchestra covers of the Beatles. I love that.
And it just takes it to another place.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Kimba, this is coming up. Kimba says, "Did you say rap and grime? Grime?
Oh, yeah, grime.
What
It's
is grime?"
here's the thing, and I had that exact response, and I'll tell you how I found out. I was working at a studio, and I'd done what I was doing for the morning, and I had a couple of hours, so I was in the kitchen getting some lunch, and one of the other engineers comes out to me and says, "Oh, have you got the session list?" And I went, "Oh yeah, it's over here." And I said, "By the way, who are Lethal Bizzle? I thought they were a band." And he said, It's not a band, it's a hymn." And I said, "Okay, who is Lethal Bizzle?" And he said, "He's a grime artist." And I said, "A what?" And he's getting annoyed. He said, "A grime artist?" And I said, "What's a grime artist?" He said, "Well, okay, they give you a beat and you talk over it very quickly." And I said, "Oh, so it's like rap then?" And he goes, "No, it's not like rap. It's different." And he said, "Anyway, he's coming in at 4. Just come in and learn what it is." And I didn't like it. It's just basically a quicker version of rap.
Is it like that?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. And I just thought, what is this? And I remember I was there. It wasn't my session. I was just being nosy. but his mic broke down. So I went and did a quick fix. And they said, all right, mate, what do you think? And I'm thinking, do I be honest? Or do I? And I just said, well, you know, some of the rhymes are inventive. Yes, grime music. I don't think you'll like it, Kimber, but you might just want to check some out just for reference.
Well, I'm going to check it out on urbandictionary.com, and that's just
Yeah.
a lot when I hear people spouting lingo I'm not familiar with. Jill is here. Jill says,
Hey, Jill.
hi, I'm here now, but working on something else, so mostly just listening. Thank you for listening, Jill. We appreciate that. Please feel free to chime in whenever you like. No spitting rhymes. So spitting rhymes is now grime.
Probably have to spit them a bit quicker, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, Ed Sullivan. Oh, cool.
Miller was on Ed Sullivan quite a few times. I've seen repeats on the Decades TV network daily. Oh, since I don't watch television, I just don't know Decade TV. I'll have to check and see if they stream online. Thanks for sharing that, Wes. Absolutely. I just think Mrs. Miller was one of our national treasures. And yeah, anyway, enough of
I
Mrs.
will check it out, definitely.
If you guys enjoy her, wonderful. If not, at least you've had the opportunity to experience Mrs. Miller. So how did she get such a nice record deal with Capitol? So there you go. And I'm sure it's probably on a Wikipedia page that perhaps she was related to somebody, an A&R person or an executive, and things like that. But yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Now Jill's here. If you give me 10 seconds, I have something to show her.
Okay. What can it be? Maybe it's Arthur. Jill says, my last night and tomorrow, Kimba. Then I'm done. Oh, Mrs. Miller is an experience, all right, says Star. Oh, it's showing up now. Yeah. Jill, congratulations on your last night. And Star, I agree with you. Oh, yeah.
There you go. It will have my
That
headphones
looks
for
pretty
that.
big, James. That looks like it's a pretty good sized book.
It is. It's awesome. It's about, oh gosh, how many pages is this? Yes, it's called Tales of the Brothers Gibb. Jill probably already has this. It's about 700 pages. And yeah, it's awesome. But what I really love is the period where they weren't doing well. It's that kind of just mid-70s before Main Course, and they weren't really selling many records. And they just had to play dates in small clubs and things. And I just love that period of that story of how they got to Miami and did Main Course and got back on top again. It's just such a nice little, we got to get back, you know, and they did. So that's a great, and the stuff about Andy is quite sad, but it's fascinating. So 700 pages of Gibb.
Before Main Course, was it Mr. Natural, or was there one between Mr. Natural and Main Course?
I'm trying to remember my chronology. I think Mr. Natural. I can't remember my chronology. I know Main Course was what, 75. I think.
So Main Course has some wonderful fat bass, and so does Mr. Natural. And I listen to that.
And you know, a lot of that stuff, it's Morris. He doesn't get enough credit. He really doesn't.
Yeah, I'll let Jill chill in on that. Hey, Star, how did you learn about Mrs. Miller? Tell me about that. Wes says, England is on my bucket list. The closest I get nowadays is watching live Abbey Road. That's a wonderful thing to watch. Congratulations. Now, Jill says, oh, that's a long and comprehensive book. It's not official, but written by fans. Yes, and I love those albums, way underrated. There we go. Well, there you go. We heard it from Jill. Mr. Natural produced 74 by Arif
Mardin.
Yeah. I like listening to Mr. Natural. Yeah. There's an Ultra Lounge CD of Mrs. Miller. It is.
Wow.
Ooh. Wow. I remember when I discovered Mrs. Miller and I couldn't find any records locally, I went on eBay and I bought several of her records. And this was probably late 90s, early 2000s. No, it was 2000s. Yeah. Star says, I don't even remember. Mrs. Miller has always been in the back of my mind, like the Wesley Willis of the 60s.
Wesley Willis.
Yeah, I can see that connection. Mrs. Miller seems a little more organized, and whether she had someone holding her hand or I don't know. I could see her say, now you go over there and you play this instrument. You play it very well because I'm going to sing this song. I could see something like that. But there needs to be a documentary on Mrs. Miller. Oh, my gosh, there needs to be. But, you know, I just love stuff like that. And I just love it, love it, love it, love it. Yeah, yeah. Wow, that is so cool. Well, congratulations, Jill, on your last night. And then tomorrow, I think you said tomorrow's your last day. And then then what are you doing, Jill? Other than sleeping late and going to bed as late as you want to, sleeping in, going to bed late. Yeah, yeah. So what's in store for Jill? That would be good to hear. Probably listen to Bee Gees a little more during the day. Yeah, so that's really neat. Wow, congratulations. I'm happy for you, Jill. Jill says, yeah, I saw that. Yeah. Wow. Folks, I have had an incredibly wonderful evening hanging out with everybody, talking with everyone. It was great to have Wes come to the stream, first time here. And thank you so much for subbing, Wes. I appreciate that a lot. As always, Kimba, Jill, Star, Tom, Tanner, James Byers. I'm sorry, it's hard for me to say James Clapton. And anyone else that I totally missed. Yeah, I appreciate that. I think I got everybody. And then, of course, everybody that watches, that never comments. I do appreciate you guys doing that. And Tom and Star, so good to see you guys again.
It's an honor for me to get an invite, so thank you.
Yeah, James, may I extend this invitation when we end the chat? Do you mind if you and I have a few moments alone together? You and I can communicate StreamYard?
Yeah, okay, all right.
Well, that'll be great. Well, I'll end the broadcast, and then you and I can stay here and we can chat. Actually, the cool thing about StreamYard, I can invite 5 people, and we can all hang out and talk and never broadcast on YouTube. And that's one of the cool things I like about StreamYard, and that's always fun. Kimba says, superb as always. Thank you, Kimba. And what makes it superb is you being here. Bye, everyone. And so there we go. Oh, if you haven't, folks, please enter my video contest, my 350 subs, and showing your last 7 records you played. Physical media, CDs, cassette, vinyl, 8 tracks, reel-to-reel, Edison, cylinder, mini disc, whatever. Please join that and stuff like that. So once again, thank you so much. I hope everybody has a wonderful evening, and I hope your favorite team wins something. All right. Good night, everybody.